Good afternoon, 26th of December here today, Boxing Day. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas, so wishing you all a Merry Christmas. We'll do a little post on New Year's Day to wish you all a Happy New Year. Basically, I've had a couple of days off from the greenhouse. I've spent a nice bit of time with the family. I've had all the grandchildren up. We had a big Christmas dinner yesterday. It was fabulous, a nice day off. Spent a little bit of time in the greenhouse, but not to do any work. When I was in yesterday, I realised there's a bit of work needs catching up on, because over the last month I haven't been in here much, and I thought we'd come in just to show you the growth rates and take a look at the different lights that I'm now using. Not do a long video, just a little short one. The first thing I noticed, I had to switch the lights off the larger onions and leeks from the last time, if you remember. Now they are really popping on. They've had no lights for a while. This is one of the onions, and as you can see, I mean, the foliage right up. It all needs showing up again, but they are getting far too big to be under my lights. One thing I've realised, if you want to grow heavyweights, you need even more space than what I've got. You need an area that you can have a light possibly 2 meters off the plant to stop it from burning, because it was burning the tips, as we can see here. Just come a little bit closer. So these haven't had lights now, virtually since the last time we were in. I dropped them down to 12 hours for a few days, and then realised they were still burning. As we can see, the tips here. I think it's just part and parcel of using strong grow lights. These were under the LEDs. Anyhow, we take a look at the root structure. Got really good roots. These are in 2 litre pots at the moment, and I am moving them up. These are for heavyweight. Just clean that bottom leaf off. I am moving them up into 5 litre pots from the 2 litre. We'll just see if we can do it without damaging anything. Take a look at that. See, that's a nice root. It's not like over pot bound at all. It's just got nice roots all the way around, which is what I like to see before I move anything on into larger pots. Just move this down a little so you can see what I'm doing. Right, I'm moving out of straight clover compost now into a clover mix with a John Innes mix. And as I say, we're moving up into a 5 litre pot. It gives me about 1 inch of compost all the way around the plant, fresh compost. Keep the plant sat at the same height it was in the original pot, and just gently firm the compost in around it. So this is now 50-50 John Innes number 2. I'm never ever going to number 3, I always use number 2, and a mixture with clover. And again, that is a seed plant. It's looking quite nice. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves on there, and we'll just need to readjust these clips to catch the foliage that's grown outside of the cage that I've produced. Lift them a little bit higher. I'm going to have to get some more clips because we are going to need to start adding more canes in soon. So there we have an onion potted on, and I'll do the same with the leeks. Again, exactly the same mix. Yeah, we have a Betty. These are again the Betties that I am using for heavyweights. My own exhibition plants are nowhere near the size of this. The bottom flag's still healthy, but I am going to remove it. We'll just take that off. Right down at the base of the plant. They've remained nice and short with this LED light, and I'll show you the lights in a moment. Excuse me. Right, again, nice root structure there, just ready to be moved on into larger pots. And again into a 5 litre pot. I will probably only put 6 of these into the trench, and I will probably grow 6 in large containers and see how they do in the container. again, there we have a plant. As I say, we're still in December. These are large plants, but I'll show you some of the normal sized plants as we go through. Right, I'm going to take this off the holster. That's it. Turn the camera around. Right, I'm going to show you around the different sets of lights that I'm using. Stuff's being moved constantly now. This particular light, the T5, it's got one bulb out there, but these are on 24 hours, and as you can see, I use it to bring small onion plants for pricking out and posting. They'll be ready to go out the first week in January. We've just started pricking onions out into single pots here, and they'll remain in here for 7 days just to boost the growth a little bit. Moving on to the Daylight 600 watt. This is the Daylight Pro. These are virus-free plants that have come from the laboratories. They've been here almost a week. These are ones that have been potted. I have some in the growth cabinet next door, which I'll show you. When they come through, they never look 100%, but it doesn't take them long to pick up and start to look like these ones. These are looking very nice. These are all off my own grass, of the plants that I had last year. As we can see, they're beautiful and clean. These are Cumbrian, and they have been processed through the laboratory well, 2 years ago. These are now grass plants from my own stock. They look very nice. They're ready to be potted up in the larger pots. Right, back on here. These lights are on 12 hours a day at the moment. There we have DN1s, which have just been potted up, and as you can see, they've come off the T5, and there's a bit of length to them, but they will pop down, as we'll see in a moment. These are small. That's the small select onions, which we looked at the last time. They'd been on the T5. They're now growing away very nicely, but onions set the same day, which were on the LEDs from the beginning, are much bigger. There we are. Here we have the DN2s that are just been recently potted. They were long. They've popped right back down, as you can see. I mean, that's just to give you an idea. That's my finger next to them. So they're finger size, but they're only about a ½ inch long. Now the new Cumbrian, they were pretty long when I planted them, and I'm starting to get a little bit concerned, but they're now starting to broaden out in the flag, as we can see. They're looking very nice, and they have cracked the buttons. I haven't done it. The lights have done that. They've dropped right down to about a ½ inch. That one's maybe an inch in length, and they're looking very nice. So I am pleased with those. Here we have the pips. Again, this particular light is switched off, and it's been off now for 2 weeks. They were getting too big, and as we see, they were burning at the tips. So really, these would need to be moved down. I'm just going to turn that radio off. These were burning at the tips. They would need to be dropped about at least a metre, possibly 4 to 5 foot away from the LEDs. As I can't do that at the present moment, I'll have to rig a spot up for next year to have a go properly with heavyweights. But I'll just have to do the best I can without lights for the moment. They have had 3 weeks on the lights, and it's increased the growth rate tremendously, so I'm happy with them at the moment, but it'll probably not keep up with the big lads who've got lights on all the way through. But there we have Chris Evans pips, Mark Rayner's pips, and the blue ones are seed. That's my own seed. And we have the Betty, one which I've just potted on there, and they're looking quite reasonable. I'll move down and show you from the opposite side and show you some of the other leeks which I'm keeping without lights. One moment. Right, we're in the bottom corner where these leeks are picked out for myself. They've been potted on 9cm pots for a little while, and they haven't grown a lot because they haven't been on lights, and we've had no sunshine over the last probably month. We've had very little, but the sunshine doesn't even hit this greenhouse because it's behind my main house where I live. The sun drops low in the sky. So these are DN1s, and as we can see, if we look in closer, they actually have quite a bit of length on them, but I'm not worried. As the plants start to grow, they will drop back, as I'll show you with some that's been on the lights. So they're DN1s, and that's about the size that I'm looking for my exhibition stock for the quality classes. Moving on to virus free. Again, they haven't grown a lot. The ones on the bench at the far side and the 12 pack are just the same size as these, but again, I feel that I'm happy with those at the present moment. The other ones which I put the small collars on, and on closer inspection, every one's reached the top of the collar. So I know there's 2 dozen here which are already 4 inches long. So if there's any early shows come along, I'm hoping I will have a bit of length on the plants. DN2s. And then some cells ready for posting out in January. Right, moving along. Again, no light on here, and here we have DN2. These are looking very good. Good sized plant, good roots coming out the bottom, and it's a lovely colour, no virus in them. The marking that we see on there is actually spray. They've been sprayed. The spray lying on the particular plant, but they're nice and clean. And again, advanced to what I would usually have. As you can see, the difference from there, where I've just shown you up in the blue corner. But as I say, these are being grown for heavyweights. Some of Peter Carey's. That's the blue. Nice size. Again, ready to be potted on. I have to start moving stuff, but as I say, they're off the lights. There's no lights on here. And then this is the back side of the onions, and a few more plants here. Right, that shows you the LEDs, and it shows you the T5. I'm going to move next door to the growth cabinet now, and I'll show you in there. Now, traditionally, I start my exhibition quality onions, the quality exhibition onions, usually around Boxing Day. I know a lot of people start setting them early December, but I'm always too busy. So these onions were set on the 21st, and already I've noticed this morning, and you see the small green shoots just starting to pop through there. They are starting to germinate and come through, and it's the 26th today, so they're literally 5 days and they're popping through, so I'm very pleased. This lighting cabinet in here, we've got 2 350 halogen bulbs in there, metal halide bulbs, sorry. We've got one Sun T 600 watt, and we've got one 600 veg master in the metal halide. That's to give a different spectrum throughout here. The cabinet walls are lined with the proper silver reflector paper from the hydroponic shops. I have hydrometers in here, thermometers in here. We have the gas bottle giving CO2, which comes up. There's a little meter at the top here. I don't know if you can see that. And this is the input. It comes in through here, the little black pipe. And maybe every minute, 30 seconds to a minute, it gives a little puff of CO2 into here. Now then, the onions have just been pricked out and brought into here. As I say, these lights have only been on 4 or 5 days now, but already these onions were just pricked out the same day as I set this seed here. And just small plants, they're coming in nicely, and these were from open cells, and as you can see, already the roots are coming through the bottom there. So I'm very pleased. The lights do push things on rapidly. There's some more. Again, the roots are popping through the bottom nicely. So they'll only be in here maybe a few days, and they'll be brought out 7 days. They'll be outside. Right, from the laboratories, these have been sent away to be made virus free, and they've just arrived back with me, just as I say, within the last 7 days. Some of them come very, very small. As we can see, there are some tiny plants in there. Some of them come multi-headed, because obviously they're taken from cells, and this is just the way the plants grow in the very early stages. They don't come like this from grass. They revert back to the true parent when they're grown from grass. It'll take these a little while to settle down, and these will all be potted in due course. Pick the better ones out. As you can see, Again, they've got nice roots on them now, but originally these were taken from cells from the original plant. This is a very strong cabinet. We have to have fans in here. I have extractor fans. There are 2 large Rhino fans pulling air out, and I have another one here pushing air in. So you need to be set up properly because you will burn your plants with this type of lighting. I think this is the most expensive to run, but they're also the most powerful, and they do give you the biggest boost in growth. So, right, little reflecting in my face there. Turn this around, see if we can just move out of here. Right, that's just a little update. It was really just to wish everybody a happy Christmas. I'll do another post in a week's time, maybe from the bottom end of the garden. We'll see how some of the stock plants are coming on. Everyone keep safe. I know COVID's raging at the moment. Keep safe, keep gardening, and we'll see everyone in the new year. Thanks very much now. Bye bye.